we're back to doing these little snapshots where we're looking at some of the themes that are running through medicine. Today we're going to be looking at treatments. So there's already a video on prevention. Remember, that's about stopping someone from getting ill. Treatments, this is when someone is ill. How did they try to make them better? Let's start with the medieval period. In the top left, remember we're talking 1250 to 1500, 13th, 14th and 15th centuries. Right, a lot of the treatment revolved around religious ideas. So this idea that God was causing illness, punishing people for their sins. And so the treatments came off the back of that belief. So things like praying to God for forgiveness, touching holy relics, going on pilgrimages, maybe giving money to the church for them to say prayers for them. You also, though, had some natural treatments, the theory of opposites. This was from Galen and kind of came off the back of Hippocrates' idea of the four humours. And the theory of opposites was this idea that if you had a cold, you would treat it with something hot, so give them something spicy like chilies, peppers, or if they were hot, then giving them something cooling like cucumber. Also lots of natural remedies, so you would have gone to people like your wise women for these. Most people couldn't afford to have a physician or go to a barber surgeon, so they would have gone to a wise woman who would have used natural remedies, so things like aloe vera, honey, wine, okay, things that had actually healing properties, and some of them were successful in treating people. Right, let's move on to the next time period then, Renaissance. 1500 to 1700, and we're talking the 16th and 17th centuries. Guys, remember the example, want you to be able to look at change and continuity. What stayed the same, what changed between these time periods. So you have still got religious treatment. People are still praying to God, okay? They are still touching holy relics, lighting candles, etc. But it's less so. Remember, the church had less influence during the Renaissance as science and technology started to grow. And so it became less popular in terms of a treatment. Theory of the opposites, again, was used to a certain extent, but that's kind of dying out as well. Natural remedies, this is continuity from the first period, the medieval period, but there is also some change there as well. Because of exploration, we know during the Elizabethan period, people were going out exploring new lands. New remedies were coming across from different countries. So like the chinchilla bark that was coming across from South America. You've got the idea of transference. This is new, the concept that you could transfer your illness onto something else. So if you had a wart, you might rub an onion on it in order to try and transfer the wart onto the onion. You might bring in an animal from outside into your home in order to get rid of your cough or your cold. IHO chemistry was also a new treatment during this time period. So the idea of using chemicals to try and cure illnesses. One example of this might be mercury. And this was backed mostly by the Royal Society. Okay, they published lots of these treatments in their journal. Right, move on to the third time period then, the industrial medicine. So 1700 to 1900, 18th, 19th century. We've put in this one, most of the improvements came through surgery. So that's going to be in a separate video, so we won't talk too much about this area today. But you have also got, about antiseptics being used during this time period to stop the problem of infection in surgery, and you've got anaesthetics to stop the problem of pain, okay? Moving on to our final time period, we've got modern medicine, 1900 to the present day, 20th and 21st century. Magic bullets. Salvarsan 606 was the first magic bullet, Prontosil was the second. Guys, the idea was there were these chemical cures that you would take in a tablet form. They wouldn't damage or harm the rest of the body, but they would hone in on the illness that you had and killed it. Penicillin, antibiotics, remember this is your case study, one of your case studies for the modern period. You need to know about Alexander Fleming's discovery of penicillin and Florian Chain and how they developed it and got it mass produced. Treatments for cancer, so there's a development, remember this lung cancer is your other case study for this time period. You've got things like chemotherapy, radiotherapy, surgery being used for treatment for cancer. And you've also got improvements in surgery during the modern period as well. So you've got things like keyhole surgery, you've got transplants, all of which were new treatments during this time period.